Hi guys, so today we're going to do a water change on our display tank. So this tank has a group of wild green discus and a group of Orinoco Altum angels and a few other fish such as black neon tetras, solo Manacapuro angel and hoplo catfish. So I'm doing 2 or 3, well mostly 2 large water changes on this tank every week. Usually I'm removing about 60 to 55% twice per week. Sometimes I'm trying to do that 3 times per week. It doesn't always happen, but 2 water changes, that's certainly something that I will do every week on this tank. I don't have any automatic or fancy system of water changes, but I do have my own system of water changes, which might be a bit different from what many other people are doing. So I thought that it might be interesting for you. Well, so this is an open top tank, but I usually get it covered with a lid. This is just a plastic sheet for greenhouses. I just cut it to size and it works great as a lid. It's nicer without a lid, but discus as well as a few other fish, black neon tetras that I have here, are jumpers, so it's better to keep them in rather than out. And I removed the lid, so the fish are scared. They know that something is going to happen right now, so they're all hiding. So this tank has a sump filtration, and before starting a water change I need to switch off my return pump, which I will do right now. So what's gonna happen is the sump is going to fill up. I usually keep it that full, so when I switch it off it doesn't overfill and it just fills up to this level. Right, so now we're going to pump the water out of the tank into the sink. The good thing about the position of this tank, and this is what we thought a lot about before installing this tank here, is that it's in our kitchen, so it's very close to our sink. So that should be very comfortable to pump out the water. So I have this kind of a pipe to pump the water out. On the one end it has this Eheim inlet pipe. It's just, I think, some kind of classic model inlet pipe, which I will put in the tank. The fish might get scared, sometimes they do, like so. Well, the good thing of using this kind of canister inlet pipe is that it holds firmly on your tank. It's not going to fall out, and you can just pull it either direction and it will still be there. Also, it doesn't reach the bottom of the tank, so even if I forget that I'm doing a water change, which never happened so far, it's not going to pump out all the water. It's just going to pump out water until this level here, so the fish will be okay. So the rest of this pipe is just a regular siphoning aquarium siphon pipe, and on the end I have this pumping mechanism again from one of the older siphons I've had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck in some water, and here it goes. It will stay like this. You might notice that I'm not siphoning the gravel, which I never do on this tank, for 2 reasons. First of all, because I have relatively thin layer of sand in here. The second, the most important reason, is that I have here a hoplo catfish. I've made a video about hoplo cats, I think about a year ago, as probably one of the best tank mates for discus, because they're excellent gravel cleaners, scavengers, and generally cleaners of all sorts of leftovers from fish, not just because they eat everything and they're very adaptable, but also because the whole day she, and that's a girl, the whole day she will just dig up the gravel, dig up the substrate, and everything that's in there will go up into the water column and it will get sucked up into the sump. So that's probably the most important fish that I have in this tank. So it will take about 20 minutes to half an hour to pump out about 60% of the water from the tank, and during that time I will usually clean the glasses, and I will wash the filter sock, which gets dirty every few days. Alright, so we'll get back once the water is pumped out. We usually use this water to water our plants, house plants. So yeah, of course we don't have as many house plants, so we don't need that much tank water, but still that's a great water to water your house plants. So we have removed approximately 60% of the water, and I'm going to stop pumping the water out. I'll just have to remove the sink. The fish are generally quite used to this procedure, so they are very calm. So we are going to fill this fish tank back with filtered water. I'm not using reverse osmosis or RO water because our tap water is already soft enough. It's at pH 7.0, and once it's ages in the fish tank, it goes down to 6.5 or even 6. So what I'm using is a HMA filter. We have it here under the sink. This is a heavy metal reduction filter. So what it does, so the water will enter from here, from this pipe, which will be connected to our kitchen tap. It goes through the first layer of filtering, which is just a cotton wool or something like that, which will filter all sorts of sediment, all sorts of particles. Then it goes through two other cartridges. One of them has carbon, which removes chlorine and chloramines, and the other one removes all sorts of other chemicals, and I don't remember what's inside of it. Alright, so now we are going to connect our HMA filter to the tap. To connect it to the tap, I've bought this kind of a tap connector on eBay. It doesn't have any brand, it was kind of a cheap stuff that was shipped from China, and it costed, I think, just a few pounds. So what it does, so one end of the pipe, this is the end connected to HMA filter, goes in here, like so. And this thing is attached to the tap. Because it's a cheap stuff, a part of it has fallen apart, so I need to be kind of careful to attach it here. So basically just twist it like this and attach it to your tap. There are various connectors like this one. Some of them are more fancy than others and more expensive, but I went for the cheapest option. So I usually test it before connecting this end of the hose to the fish tank, just to make sure that nothing is leaking from here. Usually nothing leaks, so this is how it is, but just in case, you never know. So what I will do next is I will turn the water on warm. So this HMA filter, it cannot handle hot water. I think it can deal with the water up to 40 degrees Celsius, so it cannot handle hot water, so I'm not going to use hot water. I just need to make sure that the water comes out as warm, not hot from the tap. And this end that is connected, this end of the pipe that is connected to HMA filter, I will add to my fish tank like this. There is a suction cup here to keep it in place, and usually it does stay in place. And I turn the water on, and the filtered water gets into the tank. It might take a while for me to just get the right temperature, because right now it's cold, but it will get warmer. And I leave it like this. It usually takes about 30 minutes to fill the whole tank. The water pressure is not too strong because HMA filter cannot deal with strong water pressure, but it goes like this. Most HMA filters need their cartridges replaced every 6 months, and that was also the case with this one, at least per manufacturer's instructions. But because we have relatively clean tap water, you can see I've been using it for 7 months, and this cotton cartridge is clean. It doesn't have any sediment on it, so it doesn't really need to be replaced. I'll probably replace in a couple of months the other two cartridges which have carbon in it, because maybe carbon is no longer as active as it used to be before, so that's the only thing I need to replace. And otherwise it's quite easy to use. I just connect it to my tap, and I put the other end of the pipe into the fish tank, and water just fills up automatically pretty much. Okay, so the water has reached its level in the sump, so I will turn the return pump on and I will switch off the water. So the pump is on. There's always a bit of a muck that comes from the sump into the tank, so it takes a while for all of this to get back into the sump. Right, so one last thing we are going to do before wrapping this video up is to check our water parameters. I frequently get quite a bit of questions about my pH, conductivity and so on. So let's get some water from the sump, and let's start with the pH. So we'll have about that much water. I'm using this kind of a pH meter. Yeah, so it's now 5.4. Sometimes it goes up to 6, but yes, because I've made a water change just now, it's 5.4. I also have here a Seachem pH alert. It's here, and it shows about the same. It shows similar parameters. So the water is between 5.5 and 6.0. There's also ammonia alert, and it's on safe 0 level. And now we're going to measure conductivity. It's at 58 ppm. Yeah, I usually have conductivity at around 50 something to 70, so it rarely reaches 100. Hope this video was useful. Leave your comments in the comment section. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section as well. So I see you soon.